hot or not fragrances. So a lot of fragrances have quite a lot of hype behind them, and sometimes they're not really that warranted. Sometimes, there are these designer fragrances that say they're just the greatest thing out there, and it turns out they're not really that great, and you just wasted a lot of money on them. So this video is about at least a small list of fragrances that I have, which I'm going to try to separate the hype from the not so hype in terms of how they smell. So I'm going to start with the one that everyone knows, which is Chanel No. 5. Now this is kind of a polarizing fragrance these days, but I'm going to say this is a hot fragrance because first of all, it is the #1 best-selling fragrance in the world for a good reason, for several good reasons. This has a pretty timeless scent profile. It has some aldehydes, florals, some very warm notes, like sandalwood, oak moss, amber, that sort of thing. Some people don't wear it because it is an older fragrance, especially young people might not want to wear it. But it is a timeless classic, and it's very versatile. You could wear it during the daytime, during the evening, formal occasions, casual occasions, you could wear this anytime, anywhere. So this is in the good book of my ratings, at least. Then, another very, very popular one, but much more modern, Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue. So this is probably also in the top 5 best-selling fragrances in the world. This is a very, very just kind of agreeable sort of fragrance. It is crisp and fresh. It has notes of green apple, citrus. It kind of has like a fresh linen sort of smell to it, just very light and fresh and summery. For those reasons, it is extremely popular, especially among women. There's also a men's version, but the women's version alone, I would definitely say this is a hot fragrance. This is a really good option. Again, this is very versatile. You could wear this during the day, during the evening, basically whenever. I would say it leans more towards daytime use, but again, you could wear it anytime. It doesn't have great longevity, maybe around 4 hours or so, depending on the person, but despite that, the smell alone is really kind of magnetic, really pleasant to wear and pleasant to smell even on other people. So this is definitely a really good option, especially if you like kind of like summery sort of fragrances. Then, the next one that I have. This is Voyage d'Hermès. This is a unisex fragrance. I would say this is not hot because it does smell nice. However, it is so light, it does not last at all. So the notes that it has are mainly like citrusy, salt water, sea spray, like green notes, like very natural sort of thing, and also fresh and cool. Again, another summery sort of fragrance. The problem with this is that those notes are so light that, at least in my experience, it disappears within an hour, maybe within 30 minutes. It has no staying power. It is too light to be worn for any practical reasons. So if you're looking for a fresh fragrance, the smell alone is very fresh, but it's not going to help you stay fresh and refreshed, in hot weather especially, because it's just going to disappear as soon as it hits your skin. So I would say, this does not make the list. Then, I would say a good alternative, which is hot. This is Gentle Fluidity. This is one of the crispest, coldest, freshest fragrances I have come across. This has juniper berries in it as a note, which if you smell juniper berries, you know that they're like the freshest plant on the planet. Like ice cold. So this is a good choice if you want to really be fresh and clean. This is also unisex, I believe. But besides the juniper berries in general, this has just a really natural approach, kind of similar to what Voyage d'Hermès was doing. But this actually has staying power, which is why, it makes the list here. I would say just in general, this is like, it smells like a nice walk through a mountainous forest, you know, mountain air, there's a stream somewhere, there's pine trees, you know, just that kind of feeling when you wear this. And I would say longevity on this is probably around 5 hours, so definitely a big improvement from Voyage d'Hermès. I would say, like, Voyage d'Hermès has more of a kind of tropical seaside vibe, but this is more of a foresty vibe, so there is a departure there in terms of the notes, but they're both fresh and this is longer lasting. Then the last one, which I would say is not hot, this is Eau de Quartier, Eau de Toilette. So, the way it smells is actually really, really good. It's like a violet sort of fragrance, very powdery, feminine, clean, floral sort of fragrance. However, the reason why I say not quite worth the hype, same problem with Voyage d'Hermès, it's too light. It does not last. Every time I put this thing on, it just like vanishes. I don't know, it gets absorbed into my skin, it's gone forever. It doesn't last, it lasts less than an hour. So, you know, when you buy things like this, you want them to last. You don't want to waste your money for this thing to vaporize immediately upon impact. So if this lasted longer, this would be a really good, you know, worth the hype sort of fragrance. Now, this is an eau de toilette. I am not sure if there is an eau de parfum available, but if there is, that may be the winner, because, you know, eau de parfums usually last longer than eau de toilettes. So, you know, if there is a stronger version, then it would definitely be a hot fragrance, but this version, at least the eau de toilette, is too weak, doesn't last long enough to be worth it, but the smell is really good, especially if you like violets. But that is my list. So if you have any opinions or just anything to say in general about these fragrances, you can always leave those down in the comment section down below. If you liked the video, leave a like, maybe subscribe, and I make videos throughout the week, so stick around for those.